Okay, good morning everyone, good morning and welcome. I hope you're having a nice start to your week wherever you are. Sorry I'm a bit late there, 1 minute. I got distracted doing some stuff and I'm a little bit off schedule anyway because having finished the last video last week, I feel I can relax a bit more. So yeah, I'm just going to take a few days off. I'm not going to start the next video edit immediately. I'm just going to, just try to unwind, try to relax, and frankly, there's lots of other tasks that I need to complete anyway. I've been doing bungalow maintenance. I've been going around and I've been repairing things. I wish I could show you more videos and pictures of it, but I don't want to dox myself by showing what I've done, and people will be like, okay, there he is, on like Google Maps or whatever. But anyway, what I did yesterday is I was basically applying decking oil to the back decking, you see. So I was in the sun with a sort of Lawrence of Arabia look, with a pillowcase down the back of my neck, sort of dangling from my hat. Did I manage to sort out the conservatory, SD Peppers? No, I'm afraid not. It's still hot as balls in there. But yeah, so what I was doing is I was in the sun just applying decking oil and managed to get that job complete. So it stinks in here though, because the decking oil reeks of, well, oil, obviously, and the smell is sort of going up into the air, and then the breeze is sort of pulling it into the bungalow or pushing it into the bungalow, and it's rather revolting, so it kind of stinks in here. But it's got to get done. So stuff like that, really. Just maintenance tasks for the bungalow, things that need to get painted. When it gets a bit cooler, I need to go to the back decking and like paint. There's like a wall that's pretty ratty, so I need to give it a good coat of acrylic paint. Yeah, it is hot, MJ. Although the wind makes it a bit cooler in the UK. Thank you, Boozasaur. Thank you, King Muttley. Thank you, It's Miwa. And thank you, Mackleworth and ST Peppers. And Kazmo and Tasha. Thank you, all of you. There is one thing, though. Yesterday, so there's in the garden there are these sort of there were these wooden planters. So imagine like raised planters made out of railway sleepers, but they were quite old and they had decomposed. And during the really, really heavy rain that we had a few months ago in the UK, the soil became like swollen with water, and the whole thing just collapsed. The whole thing just collapsed forward, dumping the soil into the garden. Thank you, Kumori. Thank you very much, Kumori. And hi there, Gummy. Anyway, so it dumped all the soil into the garden, and that was rather annoying. So I got some landscapers in, and the landscapers were able to build me some brick planters. So they took away the wood, and they built in its place, so like a single skin of brick, which hopefully should last a little bit longer. Now, something was weird. I was pleased with the landscapers. I think they did a good job. They made a lovely pair of brick planters for me. I'm very happy with them. But something was rather strange, and for some reason, I planted some raspberry sticks. I was going to say, like, they didn't look like plants. They looked more like just sticks, where the raspberry bush, like cuttings, essentially. And they all died. They all died on this one patch of the planters, and I couldn't figure out why. Sorry, pardon me 1 minute. Thank you, Frosties, and thank you very, very much, Quanta. That's very kind of you, Quanta. Thank you for doing that, Quanta. Anyway, sorry, raspberry canes. Thank you for the tier 3, Quanta. So I was planting like 6 or 7 of these raspberry canes, and they all died. Anyway, then my mum gave me these sort of like slug repellent plants, or rather slug attracting plants, as like a sacrificial like barrier to my cabbages. And I planted them there. They all died. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So I got out a fork and I started doing a bit of digging to inspect if there's something going on here, and I didn't have to dig far. Fucking hell. Look at this, everybody. So I'm about to show you a picture of what I found. They just poured the cement that they no longer needed into the planter and then just covered it up with a bit of soil. That's solidified cement. Like a huge fucking rock. Basically just there, and I think to the left that's some wood, which, to be fair, that was kind of already there because there was this old rotten tree, and I think they just reburied it, but it's a little bit higher. But like, It's the vegetable plot. Like, they knew they were building a vegetable plot. They just dumped the cement where the vegetables were going to grow and then just buried it so I wouldn't see it. It's fucking outrageous. I mean, it's in one corner, but now I've got to get a pick. So obviously, I've got to dig that out, get a pickaxe, break that up into pieces. And here's the kicker. When they finished the job, because a big sort of they calculated how much soil would be needed, and what happened was a big truck came along, and I laughed because I thought, oh, they're going to be unloading bags of soil, but they just went, nope. They just poured like a huge pile of soil into the driveway. Like, okay, there you go. And the foxes had a good old play in the soil, made a huge mess. Anyway, so when they were done, there was quite a lot of soil remaining, and they said, "Did you want to keep this soil?" And I said, "Yeah. We'll put. I've got these big sort of like those 1-ton construction bags. We'll put it in those 1-ton construction bags." And then I was like to all like my mum, "Do you want the soil?" And my brother Lamb Ram, he came round and he took some soil. Anyway, the point is, I had more soil than I needed. Well, obviously, because by the looks of things, they've packed what would be soil with cement, or at least in this corner. Like, as in, you know what I mean? As in, clearly you made this problem for yourselves essentially by filling up what was supposed to be purely soil with presumably part junk. So that's annoying. Well, the good news is everything else in the vegetable plot is growing just fine. But yeah, that's awful. That's really, really awful that they just tip the contents of their cement mixers into the fucking vegetable plots. Yeah. No, I don't think it was that, Vala. I don't think it was like a plot in that regard. I think it was just laziness. I think they were just too fucking lazy, and poured it in there. Bunch of pricks. Anyway, another story about that soil is that my mum wanted... I was like, why do you want the soil? And she said, well, for her garden, obviously. But then it turns out that my mum likes to do volunteering. She likes to do volunteering at a church, and she works in the church grounds, and she sort of... she's gardening. She's gardening the church grounds. And it turns out she's taking buckets of soil, so big bags of soil, up to the church to replenish the flower beds. So obviously she's trying to make it look nice. It's a graveyard. She's trying to make it look nice and pretty for the residents of the graveyard. But technically, that means some of my soil is now holy ground? I should request it back. Put it back in my garden. Keep the vampires away. So yeah, I'm donating what is becoming holy ground, by definition. And also, there is a tap, and I was having this debate with her, and she got like tired of me, so clearly she wasn't following my logic. But there is a tap, and it's city fresh tap water, but it goes from the street, under the ground, like it all does, under the ground, into the churchyard, where it snakes its way through the churchyard, through the graveyard, up into a tap, where she's using it to fill up, tap water. Holy water! By definition, all of the water in the pipe is becoming holy water. So she's like, no, that's not how it works. I'm like, that is how it works. It's holy water. Yeah, holy ground and holy water. I'm going there in the event of the vampire invasion. Right. Anyway, sorry, what the fuck am I talking about? Put that there, go here, hammock. Yeah, where's Lulu? She's behind me, hang on. Dog. She is stoned off her... well, she's not stoned, but she's had her painkillers, so she's nice and relaxed. So she's had her sedative painkillers, so she should have a nice little sleep now. And we went for a nice walk this morning, so yeah, she's fine. Right, okay, hang on. Open thing, where is it? Trying to find the right playlist. Yeah, let's go with this one. It might be too loud. Hang on. Put it there. There we go. Right. And then Kerbal. Where's Kerbal? Shit, I've got like half my programs running. Close that. Go to Kerbal. Hang on. Right. Okay. So, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Hope you had a nice weekend. Popping a drink. Now. Some sort of injection? No, not an injection, Danish. She's on something called gabapentin, which is a nerve painkiller. I hide the pills in a blob of corned beef. Doesn't even touch the sides. Yeah. Right. So, let me tell you that unfortunately, folks, I played over the weekend and discovered that despite the successful landing on Lathe, we did not have the fuel to take off. I was rather correct in that by burning so much fuel flying through the atmosphere, we did not have enough, so we were stranded there. So rather than launch a huge multi-year mission to try and get them off the world again, I decided it's probably just better to just fucking load it and do it again. So we haven't yet performed the Lathe operation to land again, so we should really get that done, and this time, just glide. Don't bother trying to sort of fly for tens of kilometers to get to a specific location, just try to glide down. So that's probably a good idea. Additionally, I would like to send additional dual operations, notably more fuel tanks, to the penis station, so they can change their own, well, they can move around at will. I've also accepted a mission, or is it? Hang on. We need to get science data from, so scan Moho Stone. What else? Surface data from Moho, that's the same. Plant a flag on Pole, which is the itty-bitty moon, isn't it? That's Bop. Pole. Far out. Hard to get to because it's so teeny-weedy. Right. Okay. And what's that? An advanced scan with a rover arm on a Val ice chunk. So we've got both Moho and dual operations that we can perform. Right. Let's try to re-perform the landing. It's the first thing that we can do. Thank you, Senior Lind. Thank you very much, Senior Lind. Right. Yeah. No, I hope everyone's well. So yeah, we're still attached to the refueler. Still quite a bit of fuel left in this. We should certainly leave, make sure we can come back for this. Well, no, maybe not. It's mostly oxidizer. No, we'll just characterize it as space junk then and leave it. Alright. Right, so I think we're fully fueled and ready to go. We've got all of the... Hang on, how much do we have? Yeah, 14 stored data. Yeah, this was a while ago, so... Right, let's just detach. Here we go. So, disarm. Very good. Turn this into space junk so we don't have to deal with it again. Where is it? There's the remote guidance unit. There we go. So change your name from dual refueler probe to just debris. There we go. Right. So, close the service bay. And let's see if we can, this time, perform a better... Yeah, so a better landing. Right, so from the apoapsis, add a maneuver to reduce our speed to touch the atmosphere. That's a bit too low. Yeah, let's come down to around 46 as before, maybe a little bit more. I think we could handle it last time, couldn't we? Try 45. We can always load it if it fucks up. Right, so a 200... Hang on. How long's the burn? 14-second burn. As close to the app as we can. Right. Yeah, give that a welly. Well, 200 is still quite a lot of delta V. Maybe we should... Nah, fuck it. 45 is fine. Right, quick save it, and let's go. Warp to next maneuver. Yeah, no, hope everyone's well. As mentioned, I'm just going to take some time off. So I'm just going to relax for a bit. I was actually spending some time off penning the script for a video essay. Not a huge video essay. And I've been sort of reworking it. It's a video essay about hard space shipbreaker. You heard me mention it before. Yeah, so I'm sort of considering doing that one. I ended up going down the sort of rabbit hole of the developers, not devlogs, but like community management posts. Just curious about one element of their gameplay choice. Thank you, Chroma. Stand by. There we go, initiating engines. So what we're doing is we're slowing down right now. Ever thought of doing one on the culling? Maybe. Not so sure. Well, I do have things to say on the culling. But then again, they're the same things that everyone's been saying on the culling. Thank you, General Tomat. Alright. The devs abandoned the game? What, Hardspace? Like, double. Well, they completed it. It reached the end version and that was it. They were done. Okay. That's true, Mike. I do have a tendency to ramble on. I do. Yep, it was fun. Mag, I'd like to do more again if you guys are up for it. Right. Video essay on TF2? I don't really have anything to say on TF2. There we go. Right, there we go. Alright. So, disarm and disarm. These parachutes, yeah, they fucked me last time, didn't they? Disarm all of these. There we go. Is there one on the underside? There we go. Right. Grundug says it's the same with Stonehearth. They finished it, they didn't abandon it. Yeah. Honestly, it seems weird to me. Maybe I'm just old, but it seems weird to me that there's this concept that a game needs to go on forever. Like, surely, at least in my opinion, the ideal would be launch it. I know that's not the reality anymore, but launch it finished and then a few tweaks and then you're done. Maybe follow up with an expansion pack. Like, trying to make everything a content DLC pipeline is like, ugh. Right. Have I fixed the tarp problem over the weekend, Blue-Eyed? And it didn't work, I'm afraid. The tarp kept getting lifted up by the wind and displaced. For those not familiar, I was trying to put a tarpaulin over the top of my conservatory. I have a glass conservatory, which is, I believe, the Americans call a sunroom. Which is, so it's a large, double-glazed room. The trouble is, there's no door or any sort of... It's like an extension. So it's just a direct sort of like open plan between the building and the conservatory. So it's heating up the entire building. It's too hot. So I was trying to throw a tarp over the top of it in the hopes that I could reduce the temperature in here. Something cheap. Long term, I'm going to have to replace the roof because it can't be glass. It does have a UV filter on it, Chapale. It does already. Thank you, Sovalova. Damn it. Oh, that's the antenna that broke off before. They are supposed to be hot, indeed psyched up, but our climate is different now. The British climate. It's stinkingly hot. It's like greenhouse hot. It's like fucking hell. Can you install rolling shutters on the roof? Yeah, something like that. Some way of I need to adapt it to tolerate the higher temperatures. You're very welcome, Tennis Hunter. Glad you like it. Yeah, Outer Wilds was something special, wasn't it? I do still kick myself, I'm afraid, on Outer Wilds because its expansion pack, Echoes of the Eye, I flubbed it horribly. I watched you know those sort of condensed playthroughs that people make. Someone on YouTube made an abridged playthrough of my Outer Wilds gameplay. And they showed me playing Echoes of the Eye, and it looks super coherent because obviously they've cut out the absolute fuckfest that was my playthrough. I completely got it backwards. I completely, the impact of what I saw was lost on me because I assembled the puzzle backwards in my brain. I won't tell you how because there's a spoiler, but I looked at something and I didn't clock it. At least I didn't play it like Joseph Anderson. Who was Joseph Anderson and how did they play it? Outer Wilds psyched up. It's a puzzle game, like a story puzzle thing. That gives you a bunch of clues. I mishandled the clues. Alright. I did kind of guess a large part of the situation the moment I got in. Yeah, but I think you know me. I just sort of speak my mind about, oh, what could this be? What could this be? Right. But thank you, Great Hap. Thank you. There was a smiley face on the planet. Is there? Smiley face on the planet? I can't see it. Thank you, Lunchbox. Thank you very much, Lunchbox. I don't have the Meridian Black Sheep, but I do have the Morales. It's an Eve probe that thus far has continually failed to achieve its main objective, which is take off from Eve. To be fair, it's hardcore. Right. Thank you again, Lunchbox. Thank you, Sovilova and Sturminus and General Tomats. Right, so we're just aero braking right now, folks. We're just getting some atmospheric drag. Right. Sheep says you watched one of the most frustrating playthroughs of someone who barely pays attention and then basically blame the game for not making sense. Yeah. Sorry, for those who don't know what we're talking about, so Outer Wilds is this adventure playthrough. I'm not going to give you any spoilers because it's amazing. You just have to trust me and play it. You know how I whinged a lot about how the forest just sort of threw story elements at the wall and they didn't coherently come together? This is its polar opposite, where it's all planned out and the clues are sprinkled all over and you assemble them, and when you get to the end you're like, oh shit, like it's the picture makes sense because it's been thought through. And so what you do is you're exploring and going, haha, spaceship go, vroom. And as you sort of learn more, you're sort of... It also does this wonderful thing from a gameplay perspective, because it's not like your progression is not... it's not... I suppose it is abstract, but it's not like codified, like you are progressing by getting levels, or you're progressing by getting items. It's not... You are finding things and completing things like on a checklist in a video game. You're learning information in your brain. You're discovering, okay, well what does this symbol mean? And what does this do? And then you get to another place and be like, oh, okay, I get it. That's a thing that means this. And, oh, that must be important to their culture. And then, oh, no, that means that thing must have caused this thing. Like, you can't reset your brain when you're done with the game. The progression is what you're learning. It's fantastic. Okay, I'm going to warp again. And there is a little guide on your spaceship if you start forgetting things to say, oh, remember you saw this at this, but it's wonderful. You feel like you're on a true adventure. Thank you, Blue Queek. Also, the dog's farted. Oof. Stinky bitch. Hang on. Oh, it's really bad. All right. Quick save it there, just in case. Warp here. Right. Since it has co-op, will there be a playthrough of the Rogue Trader with the Baldur's Gate group? We did mention it briefly, but apparently it's not very good in co-op. Unlike something like Divinity, it's not built for co-op. There's really a main character, and then the other guys just control the NPCs. Right. Anyway, Outer Wilds is incredible. Sorry, if you're on the fence and you're like, I don't know if I should play it, the back of the box blurb with no spoilers is that it is an adventure game where you are playing as a young alien, so like part of an alien race, who is just about to go into space for the first time. Outer Wilds is just the name for outer space, just what they call outer space. You're about to go into space for the first time and go off on an adventure. That's it. Have fun. See what you can learn. Don't read any... Sorry, that's important. Don't read anything about Outer Wilds. Don't even look at trailers. Look at nothing. Just trust me. Just go with my vibes and just pay attention. And after 2 hours of play, you'll be like, oh, I get it. I see what type of game this is. Oh, wait. Warp here. Okay. Yeah, that's a shame, Psyched Up. If you watched a full playthrough before playing it yourself, that's a real... Oh, that sucks. It really sucks. Yeah, just trust me. Read, as Dodge says, don't read anything about Outer Wilds. Just trust me and pick it up and play it. Oh, really? It's 12 quid? Yeah, it's 40% off? Yeah, go get it. For real, seriously. Oh, sorry, one more thing. So it has an expansion pack called Echoes of the Eye. Get Echoes of the Eye. It's amazing. But don't do it. Don't install it first. Play the base game. You can. There's nothing stopping you. But the expansion has its own separate story. And if you install it, then it gets mixed into the main game, and it might confuse you a little bit. So yeah, just play the base game through first. Have I updated the closet this year? I should have done. Last uploads were 2 weeks ago. 2-3 weeks ago? I believe you can check. I believe I mass dropped all of the Rogue Trader playthrough. Right. Right, what are we doing? Yeah, we're just trying to... there we go. MJ says, the DayZ video was uploaded last week. How old are some of the clips? So what I do is, their age varies entirely. Some of them are very new. Some of them are very old. What I do is I take all of the game's footage and I put it in a root folder. Let's say, for example, Kerbal. And I'll save it alongside some notes that I've typed up during the live stream itself. So then it was all in a collective bucket. I then sift through that bucket when I get to making a bullshittery, cutting out the highlights according to the notes and sorting them based on how funny they were, meaning that I am not attempting to preserve any sort of chronology. To me, it doesn't matter how old they are so long as they're funny. So a joke that was from last year might be alongside a joke that was along 7 years ago or whatever. It just, in this particular case, someone did say a date, or rather an age, my age, which made people go, wait, what? How old is that? But yeah, all bullshitteries you see are like that. Right. I prioritize the clips based on what seems to flow well, not what happened a short while ago. Who fucking cares about that? That doesn't matter. Hi there, Gamer. Thank you, Gamer. What happened to the cashier that I fancied? Oh, she was working in a local bakery, and I popped in regularly to buy sausage rolls. We were in conversation one time outside of the bakery, and she was paying attention to Lulu. I was like, finally, Lulu is doing her thing. She's being my wingman. And I was like, yeah, her name's Lulu. Yeah. And she's like, oh, she's so cute. And I said, oh, do you have a dog? Or do you have one? And she's like, no, but my boyfriend does. And that was the moment it was like, oof, you know. It's that meme with the daggers through the heart. I was like, no. Oh, okay. Oh, well. Right. Am I still buying sausage rolls there? I no longer live there. I've moved from Brighton to Hove. Which is such a shame, because I really like that bakery. It's expensive as hell. It's really expensive, though. Alright. Weirdly, they seem to like me, because they actually asked, or the owner actually asked if I could look after their dog while they were going on a family wedding. Because it was the entire family. They didn't have anyone local that could look after their was it Hazel? I think the name of their dog? And I would have loved to. The trouble is, I lived in that tiny flat. There was nowhere to go. Lulu would have been terrified because the dog was massive. So, you know, if the circumstances were different, I would have loved to have looked after their dog, but had to turn them down because it was... Oh, yeah, it's family-owned. Sorry, I should have clarified. Yeah, but I would love to have taken care of Hazel. It's just my flat was a box. Right. Voodoo. Yes, seems a bit extreme, doesn't it, Voodoo? Right. Okay, just hang on. Coming down gradually. Thank you, E-Dollar. Thank you very much there, E-Dollar. Ooh. So yeah, so things are fine. As mentioned this weekend, I was doing lots of chores around the. It's too hot. Like I treated going outside like running in and out of a toxic fallout. I would put on sun cream and just run out and be out for 15 minutes and then come back in quickly. It was just so scorching. Annoyingly, I tell you what I did on. Sorry, when was that football game? Was it Saturday or was it Friday? I can't. No, it was Saturday, wasn't it? There was a football game, and I realised that. Hang on a minute. The start. It's going to be a really clear evening, and most people will probably be distracted watching that football game. So I decided to take the opportunity to take my telescope and try to go stargazing. So I put the telescope in the car. I put Lulu in the car. I put some snacks and everything, and I drove off to a stargazing location. And it turns out it was a good call because the roads were fucking empty. Absolutely nobody. I could just, straight there, record time, no problem. Anyway, so I got there, and to my great disappointment, it was too bloody windy. It was so windy, like the telescope was just going to bounce around like crazy, and I wouldn't be able to see anything. Because I've got this great big Dobsonian, which is like this, a sort of like, if you imagine a large tube with a mirror in it that sits on a base, like a Lazy Susan. It made out of wood. It's not like an expensive, stabilized whatever. Maybe one day I'll get something like that, but I didn't want to sink a huge amount of money into a hobby that I might not continue. But regardless, I got, my telescope would have just knocked around in the wind. Disappointing. Same with a parasol that I purchased. I bought like a parasol so I could relax in my hammock to keep the sun off me. I got a hammock for my birthday. But Wednesday, I didn't know that. The next England game is on Wednesday. Put a pin in that. See how the weather is. See how the wind is. Alternatively, I need to go and find a place where I can stargaze, where it's sheltered from the wind, but I'm struggling to find good locations. Safe locations. I don't want to be out like fucking... Well, you know what I mean. Just a place where I can go where I feel relaxed. Indeed, Bakari. Not the stars, but the telescope. So yeah, that was a bit of a shame. Well, that's the thing, Dodge. Dartmoor must be lovely. I also need a place that's not too far, because driving late at night is not the best thing, especially if you're tired. The conservatory? No, it's got these great big tinted windows. Tinted like a UV, whatever. Basically blocks light. Besides, you'd be staring through glass and condensation and stuff. You don't want that. But yeah. It doesn't psyched up. You'll see if there's a highlight on this channel, you'll be able to see my Dobsonian. It's not like a tripod. It's like a huge base. It's not the base that's vibrating. It's the massive Dobsonian. Yeah. Can't use a fishing bivvy. Maybe if I sort of like put it up sideways a little bit. Trouble is, I'm in like gravel car parks. It's not really the sort of place that one can, hammer down a bivvy. Oh, Lulu, you stink, sweetie. I love you, but you stink. Come on, are we coming down yet? Yeah, so that was a shame. So I tried to go stargazing, but it didn't work. A windbreak. Yeah, you can get those too. So, sometimes astronomers use them at stargazing parties. That's also true, SD Peppers. I kept going up hills, you see, because for those not familiar, I live on the south coast of England. I live in Brighton and Hove, and Brighton and Hove is bracketed by a series of tall hills, like sloping green hills called the South Downs. And it's a beautiful scenic location. You can take like scenic walks and like go up there and drive. In fact, it was quite a popular location for tourists during the Victorian era, or was it the Edwardian era? Where people would take trains down to Brighton, and they would either relax on the coast or go up onto the South Downs for a nice stroll and a lovely view with the fresh air. Of course, then the plane was invented, and people went on holidays abroad. Anyway, unfortunately, it's a notorious dogging site. The South Downs are a notorious dogging site. So every time you go late at night with your telescope, you find car parks full of cars with men in them just staring. It's creepy. It's really creepy. Sammy lives in Brighton. Hello. But yes. What's dogging? Public sex. But yeah. So it's a bunch of creepy people sitting in vans. Alright. Hi there, Harry. Hope you're well. We're gradually working our way down. Gainian says, you currently loathe your country, currently the laughing stock of the world. Yeah, you'd probably be used to it by now, though. American? Hang on. Alright. Why don't you use the air brakes? Oh, fuck, yeah. Do these things... Oh, my God. Maybe not... Oh, fuck it. I forgot about these. Harry says, doing well, had some Moz sticks for breakfast. What's a Moz stick? What am I doing, Mornox? So I'm trying to imagine a stone that's skimming across the surface of the pond. The atmosphere is the pond and I am the stone. Each time I touch the water, I'm slowing down. Skip, skip, skip we go until eventually we sink. That's what we're doing. We're skipping across the surface of the atmosphere, experiencing drag, and in doing so, slowly losing our... I said the wrong word last time, didn't I? Velocity? Momentum? Speed? We're slowing down. For that is our orbital speed of 1,281 meters per second. The circularized orbital speed is about 1,800 meters per second for Lathe, which is the moon that we're orbiting. So we're trying to get down to around about there, and then what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try to identify a landing site and come in and land on it, preferably on its dayward side. Do I have parachutes? I have many, many parachutes. Both drogue chutes to slow down a little bit, and then landing chutes to slow down a lot on both the tail end and the nose cone. Now, granted, I need to try and find the location that I can smoothly take off from. Location unknown. Was that my probe location? I think it was. Harry says, I live on the lake and the view is beautiful. Nice. No, Harry, I hope you're very well. Sorry, did you respond? What is a Moz stick, Harry? Yes, I made the ship site up. It's called the Shuttlecock. Oh, mozzarella, I'm with you. Mozzarella. You'll be constipated by noon. Yeah. Now, Harry, I hope both you and your wife are very well. So over here, the weekend, doing lots of bungalow-related chores. Had a conversation this morning with a lady when I was walking the dog, an elderly lady, a nice lady called Diane. And we're just having a chat, and she asked me what I did for a living, and I said that was a YouTuber, blah, 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 and she was surprised. And briefly, she said in the conversation, because we were just talking about platforms, you see, like internet platforms, and how people do stuff and just upload stuff or whatever. And fleetingly in the conversation, she said something that made me smirk, and I just had to shut my fucking mouth when she said that, she has like a niece or something that does that, like a young niece. And she uploads something to a platform. She does commissions on a platform, and she gets money for it. And of course, my brain went, OnlyFans. And I went, oh wow, okay, right. I hope she's well. I wonder if that's true. Like, I wonder if like, oh yeah, Nan, well, yeah, I'd get money on the internet. She's like, oh, well done. Yes, Etsy. Yes, let's go there. Or eBay or something. Yeah, that's what she's doing. Alright. Okay, we're getting there slowly. But it was funny that she said, like, she was taking... I think she said she's a student and she's taking commissions. Okay. Oh, shit. I also need to pay... It just reminded me. I need to pay BB Dingo for her work. Right. Yeah, so things are fine. So oiled the decking. I need to do some painting. Was looking after the vegetables. Yeah, just lots of stuff that I need to do. I need to chop up the water butt that's broken in the garden and take it to the tip. Lots of just chores that have got to get completed. Right. Yeah, but... What kind of oil? Where is it? The tin was behind me, but I moved it. It's like a clear decking oil. It's like a water resistant. It soaks into the wood and repels water. As mentioned, I got that hammock for my birthday, and a parasol arrived, and I assembled the parasol, and I don't yet have the base for it because the base was out of stock. So what I did instead is that I placed the parasol in the garden, and I took these big paving slabs that were left over from the vegetable plots being built. Anyway, so I put a bunch of slabs on the base of it, and then of course I extended the parasol, got into the hammock, and then the wind picked up, and what was supposed to be a relaxing experience of just swinging in the breeze became one of terror as I just like had my eyes fixed on this parasol. I'm like, is it gonna fall on my head? Each time the wind was blowing, my eyes would open and I would look up in just fear that I'm about to get clotheslined by a fucking parasol coming down. And not yet Gremsis, but to be fair, I need some more workers. Yeah, the other half of the work. Right. How's the gardening competition with my mum? I'm winning. We're having a cucumber growing competition, and I grew one that was almost a kilogram. It was massive. It was like 962 grams. It's huge. And then my mum admitted defeat. And I was like, I don't admit defeat. And like, come on, grow cucumbers against me. It's fun. And then, for some reason, maybe this is just me being weird, but like, it almost feels like my mum is doing things backwards because her entire garden, she's got way more soil than I do. Some guy, when I bought this property, some guy basically paved over everything. So my whole garden is just paved or astroturfed, and it's not the most pleasant place to be. But my mum has loads of soil, and I'm like, you've got loads of soil, but she puts flowers in her soil, but she puts vegetables in the pots. I'm like, it's backwards. There's flower pots and vegetables go in the soil, but she's done it the other way around, which is weird to me. What do I know? It's the first time I've been doing this. But yeah, her cucumbers her plants are tiny, and mine are gigantic. Like, as in the vines that are climbing trellises. Why not have the astroturf removed? I could do that, Krog. I'm going to put a pin in that. I've got way more important things that I need to spend money on for this bungalow. So got to prioritize. Got to be sensible. Structure first, then fun things. The next thing that I need to prioritize in this bungalow is I need to call in a guy to put some lateral rafter basically I need to, with the solar panels installed on the roof now, there's the risk of lateral movement in the event of wind uplift or something. So I've got to secure some rafters with some sort of lateral brace or something to stop them from potentially moving over time. So I need to call up a guy and get that done. So that's the next priority. Really got to get that done, actually. Right, okay, we're getting there. So, let's quick save it just in case this will be the one that brings me down. Hopefully it won't. Probably won't. Alright. So if you hear an ad for Raid Shadow Legend, can you assume that something's gone wrong? Yep. Hi everyone, we're shilling Disney. Thank you, Tiot. Alright. Psyched Up says, pay for my air travel, I'll come and do your roof for free. That's very kind of you. But you'll also probably murder and or molest me. Alright. I was actually buying a car one time, and regarding anonymity for what I do. I'm not like a super paranoid when it comes to it, but it's like you don't go around singing it from the rooftops. Anyway, so I was buying a car, and my mum and my mum's boyfriend were with me at the time because they were helping me through the process. They were helping me, pick the right one, and what do we need, and what's insurance, and all that jazz. And anyway, so it was on the actual day of I don't think I was actually picking up the car. We were in the car dealership, and we were facing the desk with the guy, I think his name was Charlie, and we were picking the model and all that, and then I was given a book, and the book contained registration numbers, and it was like, here are all of the available registration numbers that you can pick, sir. And of course my mum was factored, like she was immediately going through all of the number plates, and I didn't care. I was like, it's a number. And she was like, no, you've got to pick one that you remember, like one that's important to you. And I just went, fucking, what is that one? They're all just numbers to me. It was almost as if she's not like that kind of character, but it was almost like she was trying to pick one that was auspicious or something. Anyway, my mum's boyfriend then said, bless him, then turned around and said, well, I suppose you definitely want to get one that isn't recognizable considering what you do for a living. Like, he was mid-sentence, and then my mum sort of, like, hushed him or nudged him or did something like that. Like, I think poked him to immediately make him go, shush! Because, he's about to blurt out that, oh, you need to pick something anonymous because of what you do for a living. And then you could see in the eyes of Charlie, the guy that I was buying the car from, that he immediately recognized that something was wrong. And I just sort of sheepishly smiled and went, just continue. It was this moment of, like, he could tell, like, wait, why does he need to be anonymous? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, can you imagine that? He walks away. I think I just spoke to someone from MI6. Oh, dear. Right, we're nearly there. This next one should bring us down. Okay. So, let's go back to the tracking station and do a big save, so I don't have to go through this again if I fuck it up again. Alright. So, the trouble is, where the fuck are we going to land? We need somewhere really flat. Okay, those are probably mountains, so that's a dumb idea. I mean, that, maybe? We need to find like a beach. Soft, flat, that looks fun. Right. Yeah, that's true. I said the car was fancier than what I needed, so he's thinking drug dealer. Yeah. Okay. So back to the tracking station we go. Let's do a big save. Dog. I should ask the OnlyFans Etsy lady on a date. Have her try my homegrown cucumbers. They're very big, Harry. Hang on. But yeah. No, my cucumber was really, I was like, wow. Big. Right. Right, big save. Landing on lathe. Did I slap it on the table? I believe I did. The table went slam, yeah, made the slamming noise. Right. Right. Yeah, so just cracking on really as sorry, I'm gonna oh blimey. For those joining the stream, please know that I won't be working on a bullshittery yet. I'm just taking some time off. I finished the Daisy bullshittery after 6 weeks of work, and now I just want to chill for a bit. All right. Okay, so landing site. We need to pick one. Let's. Well, that's about to be. It's about to be on the night side, isn't it? By the time we come around. Maybe we should just add a maneuver. Just increase. To what? Sorry. Just take us on the very, very edge of the atmosphere, just to try and circularize it just a smidge. Yeah, just a teeny weeny bit. Turn to face maneuver and warp to next maneuver. Thank you, Voodoo. Thank you for saying so. Yeah, I'm glad people liked it. There's loads more footage for DayZ though, folks. Loads. I can certainly do more. Just vanilla, Luca. Alright. Should I turn up the music just a bit? Might be a bit too quiet. Hang on. How's that? Is that better? Okay, initiate your burn. Itty bitty one. Confirmed. Right, so yeah, just put us on the very edge of the atmosphere and maybe just turn us radial out. We've still got another 200 kilometers. We need to be as smooth as possible. Out, please. Maybe anti-normal. How quickly was the video copyright claimed upon release? Immediately. With them slapping huge numbers of adverts on it and trying to maximize the revenue. Which is most frustrating, but it is what it is. Alright. Hi there, Magnetizer. No, probably not. Horror's not really for me. I'm not really overtly into my horror stuff. I know I played horror previously, but if you'll forgive me, I'm also too old. I'm just too old. I don't have that sort of energy anymore. I can't be fucking screaming and panicking, getting that immersed. Like back then I was in my 20s, I'm now in my 40s. Time has moved on. No, not familiar, SD Peppers. Too loud? Blue-eyed? I'll turn it down. Hang on. There we go. Turn it down a smidge. Right. There we go. So 50 kilometers is the edge of the atmosphere for Lathe. So we're just scooting along, getting a little bit of drag on the belly. Alright. 10 seconds to the lowest point of orbit. I hear good things, PJ. I hear good things. Ryan Gosling is literally me, says PJ. Okay. Alright. What the hell is an ice cream sandwich? SD Pepper says he basically posted a video where the actual audio track was on Klingon, trying to see how many ads he could get on the video to balk it. It was one of his experiments. Oh, really? go. Good, that's pretty good. No, not recently, Fear. Right. There we go. Right, okay, so now we pick a landing site. Maybe we should let it orbit under us for just a little bit. Hang on. Right. Yeah, just go here. We don't even need to add the maneuver. Just point prograde slightly. Warp straight there. Right. Yep. Well, we should be okay, Zanuda. Harry, yeah, the big 3-0 it's approaching. It's looming, Harry. Right. It depends, Psyched Up. It depends what sort of planet you're trying to land on and where you're trying to land on that planet. If you're dealing with a planet with an atmosphere, then aerobraking becomes a possibility, leading to a longer landing with little bits of drag, but a much cheaper landing because you're not burning any fuel. There we go. Right, cool. We're out of the atmosphere in a very stable orbit now, so what I'm just going to do is quick save it, and then I'm just going to let Lathe spin underneath me so we can try to pick an optimal spot. Right, here we go. Oh. Really? It still thinks I can't speed up time. Really? We should be fine, right? Maybe I am still close? Let's see if we reduce our speed. Do we touch the atmosphere? Maybe it's not 50 exactly? Hang on. I see. Hang on. Curious to see if it changes. No, maybe not. Alright. Warp here. Yes, Anime Geek. To be fair, I did play like 3 straight weeks of X4. Can't do the same game all the time. I need to mix it up a bit. He says playing the same games all the time when he mixes up a bit. You know what I mean? Gotta have a change of genre. Alright. I don't know, this comes up a lot from time to time. I find it's odd that seems odd, as if some people can just play the exact same game for months without getting incredibly bored of it. Right, hang on. There we go, just raise it up an itty bit. There we go, cut. Right, so now can we speed up the time? Yes, we can. Right, so let's look for a viable landing spot. Please do it in the sun, it's just easier to see what you're doing. We're looking for a nice flat bit of terrain. So obviously that's the open ocean, so we're not going to come for that. And we don't want it to be too past equatorial for the sake of easy taking off and landing. So there is something there. That could be a viable location, so long as it's not mountains. Indeed, over Lathe. Lathe indeed. So yeah, we could go there. I marked it. Is it because it's flat? Seems like a good place to gun for. Add a maneuver. Right, so what if we tried to... Obviously we're going to move it further ahead. What if we tried to do that? So slow down by 160. Right. Sorry, I'm going to do another big save. Oh, really anime. Nice. Very nice. Right. Yeah, for those joining the stream, I hope you're okay. As mentioned, I'm not going to work on a bullshittery yet. I'm just going to take some time off. However, if you are a Twitch subscriber or patron, I will be putting up the polls soon. Don't know when exactly. Polls soon concerning what bullshittery to edit next. So, please get ready to vote. Hang on. And, yeah, I'll try to see if I can produce an edit. sorry. Just having trouble with something. Alright. Wear your suit to vote like Womble. People still take the piss out of me for that. I thought it was perfectly normal. I went to go vote. It was an election day, and I went to go vote, and so I dressed up a little bit. It wasn't like a full suit. It was just suit trousers and a nice shirt and a tie. And now everyone's giving me shit. Like, what? You think I'm not going to turn up at the voting booth looking like a fucking slob? You fucking don't look like you just fallen out of bed with fucking mayonnaise on your shirt. Yeah, I did. Everyone's acting like I was a Martian. Alright. So what was I doing? Sorry. Can we close these? Hang on. Deploy, pitch, inactive, deploy. I see, just deploy. Right, hang on a second. What? Shit. Chat moved too quickly there. Hang on. Hi there, Royal Harambe. Hi there indeed. Wishing you all the best as well. Greetings to Germany, or you in Germany. Thank you, Nick So, and thank you, Avid Anika, and British Tyson, and Garlic Bread. Okay, so let's quick save and just take us in. So warp to next maneuver. Let's see if that is a suitable thing. Thank you, Ron Chicken. Ron Chicken. Thank you very much, Ron. Right, looks like we should go further along. So move it, let's say here, shall we? Maybe even a bit further. Oh, fuck, missed it. Whoopsie. Fuck it, we'll just start now. Turn to face maneuver. We'll do it live. Alright. Initiating maneuver. Here we go. Right. Let's activate navigation so we can see that marker on the map. So what we're doing now is we're slowing down. Right. There we go. So we're falling into the atmosphere. Good. Not really Hoetzin. If it's a 10-minute video, then a 4 to 5 weeker is the norm. That was a 15 or almost 15-minute video, so 6 weeks. Yeah, it was a little bit over, but it's mostly normal. Shit, I might have overshot it pretty horribly. All right. But yeah, again, this comes up a lot. Editing is one of these things where it seems real fucking simple. Like, why does it take so long? But actually sit down and try to edit something together. It's not difficult, it's just time consuming. Purely a question of, do you have the time? Right. Especially when you start getting visual effects involved. My god. Hang on. Where's that sheet with the number buttons on it? Hang on. Piece of paper. There it is. Nope, that's not it. That's from the culling. Fuck it, we'll do it live. 6. There we go. 7. Damn it. 5. There we go. Closed cycle. Air breathing. Right. The site is just beneath us. Yeah, pretty sure we've overshot it. That's true, Brot. Yes, I never did get an AdSense account. I loathe advertising. So no view on any video I've ever posted has ever made me money. Instead, I prefer to go directly to the audience, so Patreon and Twitch subscribers. By your kindness I eat, so thank you all of you. Thank you, Excella. Thank you, JMB. No, not really. It comes from a place of frustration, bro. I fucking hate adverts. I just fucking hate them. I can't deal with them. I just hate them. Alright. Now, we've overshot it. Let's load it. We're just going to go in the ocean. I'm wasting my time. Okay. Thank you, FabCon. Alright, let's try again. This time let's actually hit the marker. Oh, sorry, pardon me. Sorry, it was my letterbox, not the door being knocked. Someone just put something through the letterbox. Right. Let's also, hang on, ease up a bit, because I'm burning quite hard there. Don't burn as hard. Come in shallow instead. Yeah, try that instead. Quick save there. Yeah, I mean, Kaisin, thank you, Fabcon, JMB, and Exceller. Thank you. I mean, it's this isn't my point. Someone made this. It's metrics misalignment. It's a common problem. Capitalism causes a lot of it, where essentially what matters you can't measure, so you end up either making something that you can measure matter, but also something that is beneficial to you and not the customer. You start measuring that instead. You misalign your success metrics with something that doesn't favor the customer. And advertising is a huge thing. Do you remember the go-to example? Remember Blockbuster Video? Blockbuster Video fell over for a multitude of reasons, but what most people don't remember about Blockbuster Video is that towards the end of its life cycle, it had a series of CEOs, a change of leadership over like the course of only like a handful of years. The last CEO, all of them were trying different things to try and save Blockbuster Video. The last CEO made a major change. He removed late fees. What he didn't realize, or what he didn't bank on, is that late fees at this point in the company's life cycle were one of the major revenue pillars for Blockbuster Video. And so the whole thing collapsed. He kicked out the legs from underneath the company. And that was the case due to extreme metrics misalignment, where your main source of revenue is punishing your customer. So what are you going to do? You can't adapt. You can't turn it. You're taking, you're fucked. You funked yourself. Your metrics were so misaligned. Your major source of money was a punishment. The moment a company could come along and offer what you're offering, or hypothetically, not necessarily in this situation, but offering what you're offering without the punishment, you fucked yourself. Metrics misalignment. And advertising is that in spades. No one wants advertising. The customers do not want it. The moment it comes without it, and they can get away with it, yo-ho. Alright, how are we going to do with this one? Yeah, it's complicated, Ragga. That's not the one reason, but it's something to consider. If you're making a business, don't misalign your metrics with what the customers give a shit about. We might have fallen a bit too short. Go prograde. Try to limit the drag. Yeah, we might have fallen short. Well, we're still moving at orbital speeds. Hang on. Maybe not. Lift the nose now. Get more drag. Reduce our speed. Steady. Raise that nose. Okay. How's our altitude steadily falling? No, Black Sheep. It's not how it works, Black Sheep. Fuck. Hang on, sorry, I need to concentrate on this. What you're seeing is different. It's a different process. That's not YouTube. Well, it is obviously YouTube taking a cut. It's a company making a claim, a copyright claim. What you're seeing there only happens on the videos where they've been claimed. It used to be more publicly visible on the video description. It used to say, claimed by SME Group or something, but I think they've taken it away now because I couldn't see it on the latest video. I might be wrong there. Maximum drag. Are we climbing? Whoops. Damn it, I've managed to make us climb. Oopsie daisy. Hang on. Shit. Yeah, we're going to overshoot it dramatically. Unless I full retro burn. Nah, just load it. Fuck. No, I need to be... I can't lose fuel because then we won't be able to take off again. Yeah, sorry. So the ones you're seeing there with the adverts on my channel, yeah, that's not YouTube claiming it regardless. It's a specific act that has been initiated, or automated in this case. So it's claimed by an umbrella company due to like an algorithm has detected 5 seconds of Toto's Africa. Therefore, SME Group will initiate the claim. And, or whatever. UMG, SMG, they've got different names. And then it starts the video. They take over at that point. They'll limit the video to certain countries. They'll put on their advertising package or whatever. It's awful. Though it has been a long time since I've seen a company that has actively geographically restricted something. Some of them have. What do you do? What do you do against it, Grim? You can appeal. There's an appeals process. What you do is you fill in like a legal declaration, blah blah blah, your real name. You appeal, and then you try to appeal under a certain There's a whole bunch of. I'm not going to go into it. There's a whole bunch of things. I'm sure someone can better explain to do with fair use or whatever. And so you fill it in, and then the application goes to the company, and of course they just say denied. Because why wouldn't they? They don't give a fuck. They're just there to make money. Denied. So what's the point? Oh, and sometimes they'll hit you with a copyright strike for your insolence. How dare you? Alright. Anyway, here we go. We'll try. So let's try the other way. Does it make a difference if I turn the other way? Go. Point nose down. That's also true. Yeah, sorry, I didn't. You're right, I'm smooth brain. Why don't I just point the nose down? Let's give that a go. Prograde. Sorry, for those joining the stream, not sure what's going on. I'm trying to land a space plane on the moon of Lathe, which is orbiting Joule, which is Saturn. Saturn? Fuck me. Jupiter. Here we go. And so I'm trying to get enough... so that's my landing site there. Activate navigation. Trouble is I'm overshooting it quite significantly. Alright. Are we going fishing? Question, says David, that always comes up. I was supposed to be going fishing today with Lamb Ram, but it's too hot. I turned to him and said, look, we're going to fucking cook by the river, bro. Let's save it. Right, turn the nose down. Okay, ease up, ease up. Okay, let's wait until we get about here, then do an aggressive nose down. Wherever we land, we need to try to make sure that it's, we can take off 90 degrees to the horizon. Alright. Oh, we've already done that, Alpha. We've already circularized the atmosphere heavily with aero braking, meaning that our orbital speed is quite low. Yes, I believe we're on our third heat wave in the UK, followed by the fourth and the fifth. I would imagine. Looking good. Does it ever end? Well, if we meet our carbon neutral goals and stop dumping such huge amounts of carbon into the atmosphere, then it will start reversing in about 80 to 90 years. Here we go. Okay. Shit, tumbling. But at least we're bleeding off speed. It's fine by me. Keep tumbling. Just in for a bit of a bumpy ride. Right. Try to get control of this. So we were moving at 1,800 meters per second. We're now moving at 940. Still tumbling. Try to point prograde, please. Give automated control. Looking good. So what I need to try and do is not burn as much fuel. Right, so main engines off. Switch to air breathing mode. Very good. And we glide along. Right. So we just need to try and glide as much as possible. Now what the fuck were the, hang on, parachute buttons? Would have been nice to think about earlier. Here we go, just trying to glide. So we're looking for a flat area, really. Big hills are not going to be good for us. Lift that nose. There we go, glide along. Initiate air breathing engines, although the air is probably a bit too thin. It's getting thicker, but still. Okay, give me control, please. Stability assist only. No, air's still too thin. Give me prograde, please. Shit. Okay, air's getting denser. Should have control in a minute. Engines up. Come on. Got it. We've got control. Atmosphere is dense enough. Air breathing engines are being fed plenty of air. Let's find a landing site. Looking for somewhere smooth, relatively. This does not look good. A lot of fucking rocks. Control, sentient. Trying to get control by getting some thrust. There we go. Lift that nose. Awful landing site. What's over here? Is there a shore? This might not be too bad, to be honest. Stand by. Rose deployed. Landing gear down. Bleed off that speed. Front shoot. Wrong shoot. Got the buttons, you see. Hang on. Come on, give me that shoot. Deploy shoot. Deploy shoot. Cut that shoot. Cut the drogues. Cut 300 meters and falling. Cut. Stand by. Switch to close. There we go. And get ready. 90 meters. Start burning, start burning, start burning. Start burning hard. Fuck, that was a bit solid. Other way, Valentina. Is it stable? No, it is not. Other way, Valentina. Come on, keep leaning forward. Okay, you know what? This one. Retract. Down we go. Gently, gently. Oof. We're down. Very good. Okay, how does this look? Not bad. I mean, fairly flat. Maybe enough for a runway. But we're down. And equatorially. And with most of our fuel. Let's see if we can take off from here then. But first, we're here. Ooh. Welcome to Lathe. Oh, look at you. We can see Jewel in the sky now. Cool. Right. Brakes enable. Quick save. Thank you, chat. Much appreciated. Right. Valentina, are the brakes on? Yeah, everything's on. Right. Exit is... Yeah. Guys can hop out. So transfer crew, EVA. There we go. So Valentina steps out. It's an air breathing out. Yeah, plenty of oxygen. Lovely jubbly. How'd you get and enjoy Jewel? Look at that. Beautiful. Right. Joined by... Transfer. Bob. Transfer to the cockpit. From the cockpit, transfer, EVA. And then we made the joke last time that Bill is Sim Prometheus. He's not fucking taking his helmet off. Hang on. Transfer crew, Bill, here. Transfer crew, EVA. Yeah, Bill's like, fuck that. You can breathe it, but there could be fucking microbes in the air, motherfuckers. Right. Yeah, cool. We're here. We did it. Look at that. Jewel. Must be amazing to see. Alright. So, while you guys are here, please do the honors. Thank you, Nervous Hawk. Thank you for doing that. Right in front of their view. Right. First lathe landing. Shuttlecock space plane with Valentina, Bill, and Bob. Lovely. Is there enough Delta V in the thing to get back? That's the question. That's the question we need to determine. Can we take off? I nearly got there last time. So now I want to see. So what we need is so we can't be burning the oxidizer because we need it for the final lift into orbit. So the oxidizer's here and these two tanks over here. The rest is liquid fuel, so we need to runway our way up. So the question is that enough of a runway to make it? What is that, I wonder? Another geyser? Yeah, steam geysers. We saw these before. Cool. Anything else of note? Another geyser over there. Very cool. Chain, yeah, so tidal forces are churning the center of Lathe, churning it all around. Where are we exactly? Yeah. Teeny tiny. Right. Kelsanya says, "Oh man, Prometheus and Covenant. Like you could buy it in Alien, where the guys looking in the creepy alien ship were basically space truckers. Yeah, but these are the scientists. I know." So it's that problem, isn't it, where you've got Hollywood writers trying to write smart people, but they're Hollywood writers, so they're not smart people. So they just end up fucking imbeciles. Right. Hang on. So let's EVA report. After a few long seconds of gasping and haphazardly flailing around, you manage to get used to the strange smell. You write a note on your report. Breathable atmosphere, mouth only. Does it smell? Keep experimental data. Take some samples. Take surface sample. The soil sample contains traces of salt. You wonder if it was blown here or if this area was once underwater. Keep the sample. Very good. Okay. Over here, from the ship, start running our experiments, our battery of experiments. The ship is bopping around. Atmospheric analysis. The atmosphere on Laythe appears to be very similar to that of Kerbin. I wouldn't volunteer to go out first without my helmet on, however. Check the goo, the mystery goo container. You observe the goo. Rather boring. Pressure data. The pressure here seems a bit below that of Kerbin, but definitely at manageable levels. The temperature. Collected and recorded temperature data from the environment. The gravioli detector. The sensors scan the local gravity of Laythe, recording the influence of Joule. The seismic scan. Tidal forces appear to be churning the interior of the moon. Okay. Right, what about the science junior module? Open that up. Nope, that's not it. Close that, sorry. It's just over here. So look at the samples in the materials bay. The fine particulate sand of Laythe blows into the sample bay. Keep the experimental data. Alright. Sweet. Lovely. What about rocks over here? Can we collect any of them? Who's this? Bob, you're our scientist. Can you pick up any of them? Oh yeah, do we have our equipment? Did we pack any of it? Any deployable, like, experimental units? Let's have a look. Take care, Emmy. Have a lovely day. Also, where's the dog? Dog's bottom. Yeah, quite a few viewers this morning. Welcome indeed. Yeah, so things are refined. As mentioned, over the weekend I was mostly doing chores. Haven't started the next bullshittery yet. I'm going to be taking some time off, if that's alright. But I'll put up the polls for the next bullshittery soon. I was oiling my deck, which sounds dodgy if you have an Aussie accent. Also, have a look at this. I showed this at the start of the stream, but let me show you this again. Look at this bullshit. Not this. That's the dog. That's Lulu's face when she got into my hammock. Bubu Dingo drew that. It's amazing. She loves the hammock. But look at this. So I was excavating. So some vegetables weren't growing in my vegetable plots that I had built recently. I had like a landscaping crew come in and build some brick vegetable plots and filled it full of soil, which I ordered. Anyway, so turns out, did a bit of digging on a section of the plot where nothing was growing. The cheeky bastards buried their cement, so their leftover cement from their cement mixers. They just poured it into a hole, and it's set. Like, that's a few inches below the soil level. No wonder nothing's growing in this area. There's just huge, just fucking rock, essentially, of solidified, or is it cured, cement. There's just fucking lazy fuckers. So I've got to now get a pickaxe and dig that out and put what's meant to be in there, which is soil. Yeah, absolute fucking piss take. Absolute piss take. Did I email them? Probably gonna... I left them a good review. I wonder if you can modify your review. Yeah. Exactly. Just fucking... No. This the ones that I got, Puny8. This is work that I had done. Of course, it looked lovely, because it was all covered in soil. Fucking hiding the cement. Anyway, can we... Oh, dear. Yeah, I keep mentioning it every time we land. I'm super disappointed with... Oh, sorry. Super disappointed by the whole land on the planet and learn about it thing. Seems really half-assed. You can't have everything, I suppose, but... Like, I'd love to learn more about... Obviously, there's no direct... Well... Maybe Europa? Well, no, Val will be Europa. What's Laythe? Insofar as... Obviously, we have no equivalent of Laythe, do we? We don't have a oxygen... What's that over there? Can I pick up that rock? More rocks. More rocks. A geyser. Titan? Do you reckon? Yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult just to put in a bit of flavor text. Something from our solar system. And talk about, did you know that there are cryovolcanoes on Europa that are launching ice crystals up into, the high what would be the high well, there is like a very light, wispy atmosphere of such and such, and blah blah blah. Instead, it's a bunch of flavor text talking about the Kerbals and what they're doing goofy antics. Like, who cares? That might be a bit of a trek. Yeah, speed up time. Alright. Ogre Daddy says, "Oh shit, dude. I pulled 6 meters of old clay sewage pipes from my garden. The former owner, somewhere in the 50s, renewed the sewage here and just dumped it into the backyard." Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's bad. I recently had a survey done on my sewage, on the pipes, the underground pipes, because I wanted to know exactly what went where. I discovered that the building is using a combined system, which is apparently something you can't build anymore, because obviously it's an old bungalow. So both my sewer water and rainwater from the gutters is being combined to be sent down the same tube into the sewer. Again, apparently you're not supposed to do that anymore. You're meant to separate them out. Something, don't flood the sewers when there's heavy rain. Can I pick up a sample? I can. Pick up lathe stone. There we go. There we go. Lathe stone is very similar to the types we see on Kerb. Strangely, those similarities actually seem to excite our scientists about the possibilities. They really need to get out more. See what I mean? Who cares about the fucking scientists? Tell me more about fucking something relevant to our solar system. Chris Gunn. This is Mystic Croc, but I can't remember the name of the song. Sorry. Settle an argument, UK Ronin. What's the universal sign for "I want the bill, please"? In the United Kingdom, eye contact is a signal. It is used to indicate intent, mostly an initiator. When one initiates eye contact for a prolonged period of time, it means that you want something. Aggressive eye contact can mean that you want to fight. Prolonged eye contact means that you want to fuck. But generally, in a restaurant setting, eye contact followed by a little raise of the nose and the head backwards briefly. Yeah, so some people are incredulous when I say that, but legitimately, eye contact in the UK is a form of initiation, which is why some countries struggle, or rather, why expats of the UK sometimes struggle in other countries, because that's not true. Apparently, British people going to India struggle with this because eye contact is just whatever, it's just staring. It's not a problem there. Whereas here, it's like, do you want something? Why are you staring at me? What are you doing? Yes, prolonged eye contact can be considered rude in the UK. You're initiating for no reason. No, it's not. It's not shyness. It's not politeness. It's a social signal in the UK, which we use regularly. Okay. Right, so I got the sample. We've all got the samples. Everyone's happy? All right. Oh shit. Hang on. I right-clicked the wrong part of the screen and I minimized it. Okay, so Bob, can you... I foresee a problem. We have a slight issue. We've landed on a slight incline. Ah. Right, fucking get the ladder. Bill, you're the engineer. Also, hi there, Twitten. Hope you're well. Could lower the front legs, or we could just do this. I bought these ladders for a reason. How do we flip it? Yes, we're very impressed by your laser. There we go. In fact, you stay here, Bill, because I need you to do something. Right, Valentina. Right, Bob. The jetpacks don't work really well here. Hi there, Naughty. Whoop. Well done. Step back a second. There we go. Grab it, and off you go. Bloop. Lovely. Right, so could you please hop back? Hang on. Transfer crew. Transfer. Yeah. Right. Yes, Naughty, I hope you're very well. Thank you, Zenus. Thank you, Peter Surgeon. Right, Bill, could you come over here, please, and repack the chutes? For those joining the stream, welcome. We're on the moon of Lathe. We successfully landed. We did that before, but... oh, yeah, there is a wheel. Should have just done that. We did land here before, but I didn't have the Delta V to successfully escape, so I reloaded it. Now we've got lots more fuel, so let's see if we can make it this time. So what are you doing? Drogues. Chutes have been almost fully repacked. I believe I've simply missed the top one, which doesn't super duper. Oh, you can reach it. Sweet. Oh, look at that. Wait a minute. We've mounted a doobly-doo, a thing arm. Huh. Wonder if we can collect a sample from something. Hang on. Yeah, maybe leave it. I mean, it's going to fuck with our flight characteristics. Fuck it. Hang on. At least try to move it and see what happens. Move it here. Rotate it a smidge. There we go. Right. Can we drive up to a rock and scan it? There we go. Hop on in. Sweet. Oh yeah, sorry, while I'm here. So do we have, before I do anything, do we have a service bay with some experiments stored? We might not, actually. So the Science Junior, that's a Clampatron. That's our RCS fuel tank. We do have a service bay. No, I don't see any underside slung storage. Maybe we just don't. Weird oversight on my part. You figured I would have. I mean, it is the crew coming down to deploy things. Yeah, strange. Probably should have. Weird. Right. Okay. So, all aboard, please. Valentine. No, there's only a jetpack in there. Right. Oh, whoops. Okay, so transfer crew, transfer Bill. If you move out the way, please. Valentina, hop on in. What does Valentina see? Valentina sees lovely. Ah, it's very pretty. All right. Thank you, Communist Kangaroo. Thank you very much, there, Communist. Right. So the plan now. So let's start retracting things we do not need. Retract these back legs. These legs. Very good. Right, make sure the engines are fully disabled, which they are. Disable the closed engine cycle, so we're air breathing again. Lovely. The gears deployed, they are. Brakes are deployed. Let's start retracting the legs. Alright. Legs are retracted. Now we should be on our wheels. Nope. Almost. Right, there we go. I should have done that. Right. Okay, we're on our wheels. So, now, the takeoff plan is to essentially fly straight towards Joule and hopefully pick up enough speed on this runway, to lift off, essentially. Right. I wonder if we can briefly get a scan of these rocks. Okay. So, before I do... Oh, yes, of course. Good shout. Close the doors. And these brakes, lower them. Right. Yes, we're going to go back to the do a big save just in case I cock it up horrendously. Back to the Space Center. Yeah, what else? Oh, yeah, sorry, another thing. So in the middle of the night, rather frustratingly, I'm sitting there trying to... Well, I'm lying there trying to sleep, and all I can hear outside is... like that, continually. And it's this frustrating noise where a fence is squeaking in the wind. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Anyway, so it was really windy over the weekend, and I was out in the garden working, and I kept hearing this squeaky fence. I was like, fuck me, what is doing this? So I went to the bottom of the garden, where I discovered that my neighbour has a plum tree. And the plum tree is growing against the fence, and every time it moves back and forth, one of its branches is scraping against the fence. And it's been scraping so long that it's actually smoothed the fence. And I was tempted to just take out a saw and just cut off this small branch, but legally I can't, because it is very obviously on their side of the fence. So I'm going to have a word with them. Although, interestingly, it turns out that I not only know this neighbour, we're related by blood. I didn't know this when I purchased the place, but just out of sheer coincidence, and the fact that my family tree is a bush, evidently, yeah, we're related. Like on my granddad's side, the person that lives there. So I'm going to have a chat with them later. And say, can I please chop down that branch? Because it's making noises in the middle of the night and it's very fucking annoying. All inbred? Yeah, pretty much. I'm extremely English. Yeah, so all of my family is extremely... Like, we mentioned this before when I tell the story about Lulu being racist. Is that, like, everyone in my family has a skin colour that looks like this. Like, everyone has a skin colour that looks like this, and Lulu doesn't know any different. So the first time she saw a black man, she freaked out. And I was like, I'm so sorry, it's so embarrassing. But, yeah. Although, look at this tan. Look at this fucking... Look at this. It's the sun. Fuck. Hang on. Right. Okay, well, yeah, white to the A4 paper. Okay, we did a big save. Would you, excuse me just one moment? I'm sitting on my bladder. I just need to go for a quick wee-wee. So on my sofa in the other room, I've got these cushions which are all blankets to protect the sofa from Lulu's bottom, and just general grubbiness. You, young lady, but also all the cushions are perfectly neatly aligned. But Lulu comes along and she's like, "Fuck that," and just like a house cat, just starts knocking the pillows onto the floor. And she's gotten worse as she's gotten older. She's a little fucking madam that has to have everything her way. So she has to make a mess of everything wherever she goes. Right. Okay. Hang on. Right. Let's take flight, shall we? Additionally, over the weekend, Sunday specifically, I got in the car and I took Lulu back to the old park where I used to live next to, you see. And so Lulu got to run around and, yeah, her old territory. She tried to run around, but it was hot and she was old, so she ran around for a little bit, and then she got tired, and I pushed her in the pram. And I keep mentioning this, and I know it makes me sound like a huge perv, but I must admit, I do miss that park, because I used to jog up and down that park, and it was like really sort of like other young people. Young people. There are young people jogging, and I'd be like, hey, you know, there's some jogging. But now, I live out in the sticks. I live out in like a residential area. There's no one but old people. So I'm just jogging either alone or just like there's an old Zimmer frame with a old lady. There's no like young, sexy people to jog and be like, hey, I'm jogging too. Yeah. So I'm feeling a bit sort of like, oh. Anyway. Right. So towards Jewel we go. I think we're ready. Right, yes, I'm the eye candy now. Yeah. Before I do, let's switch off the brakes. Right. So we're on air breathing, so we're not going to be burning oxidizer yet. Could I please? Yeah, just start bringing the plane around gently. Can I do it without knocking the flag over? Yeah, that's true, Bakari. Yeah, I just wish the bungalow were a bit closer to the old park where we used to go. I do need to go for another jog today as part of my exercise routine, but it is going to be very warm, so we'll see. Then again, it's quite breezy, so maybe that will keep it cool. Right. Let's come around gently now. Try not to burn too much fuel. Hi there, Mr. Wonderpants. Sorry for the late response, says Mr. Wonderpants, but the planet that Lathe is most similar to would be that of Titan because of the thick nitrogen-based atmosphere. Okay. Must admit, I don't really know much about Titan. Twitten says it's actually quite nice out today. Yeah, I think it's the breeze, definitely, Twitten. It's not oppressively warm. Also, Twitten, I saw, although I don't know how they're going to be because they looked a bit strange, I saw blackberries coming out. So soon, more jam. Happily make you a jar if you wanted some jam. I made lots of jam last year, you see. Right. And boop, stop. Right, so can we scan this rock, yay or nay? Review report. The Val ice... Oh, it's got its own science. Okay. A broken chunk of Val's icy crust. So we need somebody to get the data. Reset it. Shit. Forgot to do that. My bad. Hang on. So transfer crew, EVA. Bit awkward. Should really get a second door. Thank you, C. Foster. Thank you for doing that, C. Foster. Transfer crew. Bob. Transfer. Bob. Transfer. EVA. These are fake rocks? Yeah, we'll see if it can do the experiment. Take data. Okay, we've got the data on the ice chunks. Hey, Bill, can you run the experiment? No. No targets in range. I think it is a fake rock. Shame. Maybe we need to do the geysers. Probably too far away. Is there a geyser? Where's the nearest geyser? There's one here. Some distance, but we couldn't make it. Yeah. Bit uphill there. It's a bit of a struggle. Thank you, Linoceros. Thank you very much, Linoceros. Right, hang on. All aboard. Grab, up we go. SD Pepper says, running on grass instead in this heat is better too. Oh, yeah. I try to do that as much as I can. Hang on. Transfer. Also, it smells in here, folks, not just Lulu. It's the bloody decking oil. I spent ages applying about 10 to 15 litres of decking oil, and that shit is expensive. It was yesterday evening. But because the back door is open and there's a breeze going through the bungalow now, it stinks in here. It smells like it reeks. Okay, let's quick save. Right. Brakes removed. Yeah, it's a bad smell because the back door is open. Poop joke. Right. air breathing? Yeah. Trying to go along. So yeah, lots of just chores to do around the bungalow. Gotta get shit done. I ordered a, like a waterproof cover for the parasol that I ordered in the garden, just to hopefully improve its longevity as the rains come in. Thank you, Tetra. I call it the shuttlecock. Thank you, Jim Bob. You can turn off the fake rocks, can you? It's a bit tricky to get this uphill. Is there one that's downhill? I kind of need that as a runway. Oh, the brakes on. No, they're not. Why cock? Why not cock? Cocks are funny. Also shared something with me the other day. She said, it's more penis humor. Basically, she was doing this thing where, I can't remember exactly what it was for. I think it was it Dinklebean or Sam? They were doing this thing where everyone draws a cock, and like he shows them on stream. Anyway, Ilsa was showing me all these different cocks, phrasing on that. And she sent me a picture of a cock drawn by Moley, ZF Moley. And I said, that's a nice cock. And then I asked her, so imagine in your mind, I'm doing this, picture in your mind a cock, and it's facing towards you, right? So it's pointing upwards, but it's facing toward, damn it, sticky keys, go away. So you're looking at it from sort of like the underside, but it's facing you, like pointing up. Anyway, I asked Ilsa, why is the bell end backwards? And she went, huh? And I had to explain that, well, in male anatomy, your bell end on your penis, the gland, whatever it's called, is not uniform. Like, it goes round, it's smooth on one side, but then it sort of goes round and there's like this fold, you see. It's not like, in art, like a penis is not completely uniform. And then apparently I made her Google image penises and she went, oh, you're right. And then I realised that makes me sound gay because it sounds like I'm aware of what penises look like when looked out from the underside, as if a penis is being presented. But I swear it's only because I have a better grasp of male anatomy. Yes. Anyway, the point is it was a drawn penis, but it was backwards. Yes, not gay, just care about the art accuracy. Damn it, sticky keys, bog off. I'm just switching the throttle on. Yes. Bop tart. Hi there, Messi. Here we go. So can I scan this? Geyser. Pretty sure we couldn't take a sample, so maybe we can't. Damn it. And stop! Right. Brakes enabled. Can we scan it? It's too far below the base plate. Cannot reach. Oh. So we can scan it though. Right. Oh, fuck me. We've got to do this again. Okay. We need to get a second door on this thing. How about, please? Valentina, can you take a sample? No. Oh, maybe you can. What was that? Plant flag, take service sample. No. Okay. Right. Bill this time, not Bob. Can you please transfer here? So Bill. Very good. And EVA. Nope. Yes. No. Transfer EVA. Right. Could you please move the scanning arm? Twitten says, you left the lower lounge doors open over the weekend. Looked up to find a fox in the lower lounge. Oh, really? Middle of the day. There he was. Had to shoo it out. Not sure who was more surprised. The brazen buggers. Yes, when I was driving back from an attempt at stargazing, Twitten, because it was too windy. The football game was still playing. The streets were abandoned, and I turned the corner to drive down my road, and in the middle of the road was a fox. And I was worried that I was going to run it over, so I slowed down. It didn't want to move, it just stared at me. So I was like, oh, bloody hell. Anyway, so as I was pulling up alongside, so I moved around the fox, and it sort of moved out of the way. And it just sort of stared at me, stared at the car, so I stopped the car. Left the engine on, rolled down the window, reached down, and picked up one of Lulu's high-value chicken dog treats. Lulu looked aghast as I flung it towards the fox, who stared at me and then started eating one of Lulu's high-value dog treats. I was just like, there you go, Mr. Fox, enjoy. And I just drove off. And Lulu was like, how dare you? Right. I just wanted to make sure the fox was okay. I like animals. Not pigeons, though. They can fuck off. Right. So, can we scan it? We can scan it. Here we go. Extending arm. It is now... Let's stay with the vehicle just in case it needs... Here we go. So, timing of the eruptions of geysers has shown their irregular... oh my god, I can't even... That their irregularity is regular. Keep experiment. That's rubbish. Fuck me. Google. Does Titan have geysers? Titan does not have traditional geothermal geysers like Earth does, but it does have cryovolcanoes. No, we read about cryovolcanoes. Do any of the Jupiter moons have geysers? Yes, Jupiter has moons with incredible geyser-like activity. The most famous and active of these is Io. Okay. Tell me about Io geysers. So the geysers on Io are massive, volcanic-driven eruptions that blast plumes of sulfur and sulfur dioxide gas hundreds of kilometers into space. Unlike Earth's water-based geysers, these are powered by volcanic heat and eject material that falls back to the surface in elegant umbrella-shaped arcs. The cause. Intense internal heat is generated by something called tidal flexing, as Jupiter's immense gravity, along with the pull of the other moons, continuously stretches and squeezes Io's interior. Instead of boiling groundwater, trapped subsurface liquid sulfur and sulfur dioxide are superheated by the surrounding magma, flashing into high-velocity gas that explodes through vents in the crust. Because Io has very low gravity and almost no atmospheric pressure, these plumes then shoot hundreds of miles into the vacuum of space, far larger than anything seen on Earth. The gas quickly condenses in the freezing vacuum, creating sulfurous snowflakes that settle down and continuously repaint the moon a bright shade of yellow, red, and orange. Cool. That's what I want to read about in Kerbal Space Program. Right. So, sweet. Geysers. Sulfur geysers. Sulfur dioxide geysers. Owing to superheated sulfur caused by the tidal squeezing of a massive gas giant. That's cool. Transfer crew. There we go. Lovely. Not at all, NYC, but I'm sure you're joking. Those video edits take forever. Alright, let's give it... Yeah, to go back to the big save. Okay. Thank you, Linoceros and Sea Foster and Communist Kangaroo. Okay, so I'm almost out of time, but we're going to attempt to take off. Let's see if I can do it. Right. So, big save. Hang on. So lathe take off. Right. Lulu is a massive gas giant. Yeah, she is. Oh dear. Okay. So, I mean, I need to now take off from the surface of Lathe. I did not succeed last time, so I simply ran out of fuel on the ascent. And certainly, I needed to use the oxidizer early to pick up enough speed to take off. So we can't have that this time. Right. No, Mystic Croc, not Mystic Cock. Okay. So, are we ready? I think we're ready. Everyone's in. Let's get those brakes disabled. So here we go. Brakes disabled. We roll backwards. We'll start rolling down the hill and try to pick up speed and hope we don't clock something as we lift up. All right. 90 degrees. Hi there, Rust Core. Hi there indeed. Right. Pause. Am I playing with any mods? No. Here we go. So, can we begin a roll? Wish me luck, everyone. Here we go. So, this is you, Valentini. You ready to go? Right. Those rocks are fake. We'll just ignore those. Here we go. Keep going. Don't flip. Shitting hell. Know what that black line is doing. Get ready to lift that nose. Nice runway. Very good runway. Very good. Whoa, don't flip. Okay, we didn't clip the wing. We're fine. Keep going. Up the gears. Very good. Very good. Right. Start picking up speed. Start climbing gently. Very gently. Right, here we go then. So, the target is 1,800 meters per second. That's orbital speed. So, lift up a little bit. So we need air breathing, but we need relatively low pressure. So keep climbing. Gently climb. Right, so that's 1 kilometer above sea level. Keep climbing. Let's try to aim for around, say, 10 kilometers. Keep going. 1.4 kilometers and climbing. So, I have shock cone intakes and ramjet engines, or rapier engines. So as we pick up speed, more and more air will be flooded into the shock cones there and provide more thrust, represented as 148 kN here. Keep climbing gently. The atmosphere is too dense for orbital flight. Keep climbing. How are we doing? 4,555 meters per second delta V with the air breathers, of course. That's not truly what it will be orbital. Right. Keep climbing. Atmosphere is starting to get a bit less dense. I don't know at what point the air breathing engines will stop being effective. We're just going to have to observe and find out. Going, we're bopping around quite a bit. It's the speed. Okay, here we go. So let's start. Here we go. Start leveling it out a bit. Okay, here we go. So try to pick up speed. Maybe a bit higher if possible. We are I'm really bopping around a lot. Holy shit. So how's our thrust? Is it going to climb? Okay, we're on 6 kilometers high. Don't dip it. Keep going up. Keep trying to climb. Keep trying to climb. Yeah, we're going down. That's not good. Is it because these control surfaces have too much authority? Is it the canards? See that? I'm dipping weirdly. Whoa, 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 whoa. Fuck. I've lost control. Stupid, don't do that. Is it the front fucking equipment? The gears and shit on the front? Is it knocking me off? Because I'm struggling. Yeah, I'm really struggling. Maybe I should... Yeah, Jesus, we're rolling. Full on. Lost all that speed. That's a wash. Okay, hang on. We've still got the altitude. Kick up the engines again. Come on, try to recover. Try to recover. We need this, yeah. I wonder if the front gears and stuff that we've added is going to prevent us from, because obviously we space planed on Kerbin, but we didn't have the shit attached to the front of us, did we? All of this is a late edition. Thank you, Karu. Thank you very much, Karu. Like, we could always move all this gear stowed at the back, can't we? Turning the front canards down. Yeah, hang on. Switch off pitch. Does that help or hinder? Dial these down. Just doesn't feel like I have enough control. Like I'm getting kicked around so much. Especially sideways from the nose cone. Okay, now we need to pick up speed. We really need to pick up speed. Okay, so just hold it level. Is there not an autopilot? Nope, not in this game. No. Hold it there. So now we're just going to start falling. Okay, so how's my... here we go. So as more air enters the engine. Right, so thrust is 194 and climbing. My app is still in front of me? It is. Okay, 480 meters per second. Sorry, 380. 400. Gently pitch up, very gently. There we go. More and more thrust. There we go. 500. We passed 500. Very gentle climb. Also says you are the bell end. Okay, approaching 700. How's the thrust? Still climbing. Steady, we're still climbing. Right. Thrust is now starting to drop as the atmosphere is getting thinner, I presume. Okay, so keep going. Hold it steady. And soon we're going to have to pitch up and go into close mode and burn oxidizers. Still picking up speed. Okay. Gently pitch up if I can. Gently pitch up. How are we doing? So we need another 800. 700. Keep going. Okay. There we go. We're losing thrust steadily as the atmosphere is getting thinner. So what we're going to do is, keep pushing it. Then when we get to the app, we switch over to closed cycle and try to burn the remaining 500 meters per second of speed. Going. Thrust is now rapidly falling as we're leaving the atmosphere, or leaving the oxygen part of the atmosphere. Okay, looking good though. The app is almost out of the atmosphere. Obviously, some drag is going to pull us down. Okay, we're almost out of air, so thrust has gone from around, what was it, like over 200 down to just 50. For those joining the stream, you're looking at an ascent from a moon of Jules, so Jupiter, using a space plane. So instead of burning rocket fuel, we've been using jet engines. Okay. How's the thrust now? Thrust is now almost nothing, so we may as well just cut and glide. Cut. Just hold prograde. Okay, so try to minimize the drag. Right, and then we slightly up, but mostly burn app. How far? So 1 minute and 10. So engines off, switch to closed cycle. 544 meters per second of delta V. Is that going to be enough? We'll see. Yeah, what about the nerves? Is that more efficient? Switch them off. The nerves give me... Oh, still says 1,000? Try the nerves. Burn now on the nerves. Up a little bit. Because we're 37 seconds away from the app. Yeah, these are not very... might, maybe. Up a little bit. Good point, Jim. I could put the engines on their own separate staging. Okay, we might. Remember, orbital speed is 1,800. We're passing 1,400. Apoapsis is 25 seconds ahead of us. 24. Apoapsis, for those not familiar, is the highest point of your orbit. Imagine throwing a baseball through the air. It's the point where it's furthest from the ground. So if you could increase the speed of that baseball, it would be the most efficient to do it when it's at the highest point if you want to travel as far as possible. That's what we're doing. Strapped engines to a baseball. We might have it. Okay, lower down. Okay. 1,600 meters per second, only an additional 200. We're 17 seconds away from the apoapsis. Keep burning. Right. 1,700. We're about to circularize. 5 seconds to the apoapsis. Get ready and observe the blue line. 1,800. There's the blue line appearing on the other side. We've hit the apoapsis. There it is. 30 kilometers. 40. Cut engines. Stable orbit. There we are. We did it. We have 245 Delta V. But if I put them on their own independent stage... We are very low on liquid fuel. What if I dumped the oxidizer? Did we put the fuel dump nozzle on this thing? I think we did, surely. Is that it there? Must have done. Hope I've done. Okay, there's not a lot of Delta V, frankly, to go anywhere. Do we need another refueler? Do I call down the refueler from orbit? Okay, still, mission accomplished. That is a takeoff. Oops, sorry, pardon me. It's my mum calling me. Right. Okay, well that is, yeah, we did it. We took off, at least, but we might be stuck here. Hang on, let me just move the engines onto their own stage. Hang on. Can I add a stage? Where's the add stage button? I don't see it. Did I do it? No, can't see an add stage button. Hang on, so those are the two nerves, those are the two rapiers. Okay. Oh, okay, so the nerves have in total, is that 533 Delta V? He is slowly falling? Yes, indeed. Well, that is what orbit is. Slowly falling. Right. Okay, so, well, 533 Delta V, I think. Sorry. I need to respond to that in a bit. Right, so, with that, where can I go? Is it possible to link up to the shuttle with the penis station? Which is where we need to go next, so, no. What sort of speed do we need to... Damn. We need to increase our speed by 600 in order to simply escape from Lathe. Nuts. So we will be needing a refueler. Okay. Well, all of this is good to know. That, yeah, we'd have to have active refuel stations in orbit of Lathe in order to send anything outside of Lathe. I mean, truth be told, I shouldn't really be around Val anyway. Maybe, like, the only reason the penis station is around Val is that I think it was convenient after an intercept with Tylo. What I should do is bring a refueler to the penis station and try to get the penis station down to Lathe. Then, the astronauts link up at the penis station. If I switch to it, I'll show you it. This is where they live. They can just hang out and live there, and then we deploy the CUM, a small... Where is it? See this? That device is the CUM. It is a tiny cargo storage unit with a tiny Oscar B engine. The only objective of the CUM is to disconnect with all the science, the soil samples and everything, and fly its way back to Kerbin with a huge amount of Delta V. And on the end, it's just got an itty-bitty parachute and a teeny-weeny little heat shield. So its only purpose is to fly back home and hit it. Yeah. So, I think, next mission, send a refueler to the shuttle, to the penis station, and bring it down to Lathe to meet the shuttlecock. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. Have a lovely, lovely afternoon. If you haven't played Kerbal Space Program, I strongly recommend it. It is a lot of fun. I know it looks scary and complicated, but just trust me, it's not. It is, but it won't start you off here. You're looking at the end game, so don't panic. Good luck with your own rockets. And also, if you do play, this checklist here. So, pick missions, launch rocket. Every time you see a green tick next to a mission, you've achieved it. And some of them require many green ticks before the whole thing goes green. So, yeah. Sorry, everyone's getting sick because I'm spinning the station. Yes, ignore the sequel. It's garbage. Right. So, thank you again. Have a lovely afternoon. I'm going to go and get on with chores and also speak to my mum about borrowing some gardening equipment, notably a pickaxe to undo a block of cement that I found. Yay. Right. So, who's doing what? Also, I need to go for a jog. Yeah. Go for a jog, do exercise. So, who's doing what? So, Harry's doing Rocket League, Sam is doing XCOM, Umlaut is doing Atomfall, Ruru is doing Vintage Story. I'll leave you with... Oh, cool. Harry is currently chatting to his wife on the webcam. So I'll let him, I'll let him greet you and show off his place and his wife. Sounds weird. Thank you, all of you. See you soon. Have a good afternoon.
What up, Womble? I do indeed smell. You want to see two kittens staring?